Zirconia crowns on hybrid tie bases can be problematic. What I have found over the years is that when we have a perfectly placed implant, it's in the perfect position, so we don't have any snoopies, we don't have any ETs, we have it ideal position. We have ideal depth, everything's looking great. And you send off a script to the lab to do a screw-retained monolithic zirconia solution, so the crown is all monolithic, goes all the way down to a hybrid tie base, which has basically no height. It just has a lip, like a crown prep around it, and it sits right on top of the platform. What people have seen, and I've seen it myself, is that the lab creates the zirconia with a lip that is bigger than the diameter of the hybrid tie base. And you go, well, what's that, right? And if you're working with a lab that's relatively new, they might say, well, that's just how it is. But let me explain to you what's happening here. Inside of the CAD software is a setting. There is a preference and a setting that controls the radius of the zirconia. And they go, we don't want the zirconia to be under a certain dimension. So let's call it 600 microns. Okay, so they say it's got to be 600 microns or bigger. Well, at times when you have a hybrid tie base and you have the zirconia coming down to that hybrid tie base, that preference is bigger than the hybrid tie base. And so what I do is I tell my lab, don't do that. Okay, so I take a close-up photo of it and I show them, I say, do you see how the zirconia has got a lip that's overhanging the metal? Well, I don't want that. What I want is I want the zirconia to come down and to meet that zirconia. The zirconia to meet the hybrid tie base rather, okay? And so you have to show them what's happening, and then you have to let them know that can be adjusted inside of the software, because they can make that adjustment inside the software. If they can't make that adjustment inside the software because they're using a software that's fixed, then they can do it chairside. So after they after they mill the zirconia and they place it on the hybrid tie base, they can polish it down by hand like they used to with old analog techniques, right? So that lip is not a lip. Now you might be wondering, well, is that a worry for forces? It could be a worry for forces if we go back to the beginning statement, which is you started with the premise that the implant's in the right location. Okay, if the implant's in the right location, I found that it's not something to be concerned about in terms of longevity with regards to fatigue failure, okay, for cyclic fatigue issues. So over usage over maybe 2 or 3 years, it finally comes back and it's broken because of fatigue failure. What that means is that you still have to start with the number one premise, which is the implant is in the right location. If we eliminate that assumption and we say the implant is in the wrong location, and then you have the lab shrink the zirconia at the neck, you're really, really setting yourself up for failure. So once again, it's really fun how this all comes back to implant location. So you have to get the implant in the right location. And then if you do, the solutions are very, very, very clean and can last a very long time for the patient. This has been another episode of Implants Made Simple. I'm Dr. Robert Stanley, the Smile Engineer. Follow for more.